Hello, I'm Shadow Raccoon.
And I'm Theadore Rabbit.
And today I thought we'd take a little look at the things that only a furry would understand. So society has pretty much decided that WhatsApp is king when it comes to messages and that. That's fine. I mean, for sending pictures and talking with people, it is perfectly good at that. But obviously for us furries, we sort of decided that, Telegram is where we want to be. And can you blame us? It's got stickers.
Yay, stickers!
So, it can be quite kind of hard, actually, in some ways, to explain to people, especially when they come and ask you, why do you use Telegram? Just why we use it, and to kind of explain stuff like, the group chats, the broadcast messages, without actually getting too far into, kind of revealing yourself as a furry. And maybe you have already, and that's okay, but for those of us that haven't, it can just get very awkward. And,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Telegram really is something I think that most of the only furries would understand. It gets even worse if maybe a co-worker or friend or family member, signs up to it and gets you added automatically to their contacts, and then they might come and ask you, what's your username about and what's that picture of? Oh, very awkward.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
So, you've booked off a week of work to go to a convention. How are you going to explain to your friends and family that you're going to Birmingham in the UK? I mean, no offense to Birmingham or anything like that. I've heard the Bullring shopping centre is really good. But unless they're a furry, they're not going to quite understand that you're going there to confuzzle. I mean, Birmingham from their point of view isn't quite California now, is it?
Oh. But they confuzzled is really good.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely something that only a furry would understand.
Oh, definitely.
You end up in very odd places for furry conventions.
Oh god, yeah.
Something that only a furry will truly understand is finding lumps of fur caught in your plug hole 2 days after you fursuited. And, you will just find fur everywhere, and this is the problem with fursuiting, or just being around fursuits in general, is the fluff never leaves. Making yourself a sandwich in the kitchen, there's a bit of red fluff in it. Why is that there? The bottom of your socks, they look like a Jackson Pollock painting. It's mad. And I mean, I've had friends who have said to me that they've found grey fur around their homes days after fur meets and that. It's just everywhere and it just stays, it never leaves. It's a vacuumer's worst nightmare, and they won't understand you, and this really is something that only a furry will understand.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, to borrow a story from a friend of ours, he was going home after seeing some friends of his, and his parents were worried about him as he hadn't contacted them in a little while. So they got a little panicky and rang the police. Now, when the police finally got hold of him, they asked him some questions, as, police often do, about where he was and who he was with. The main problem with this, of course, is that he didn't know their real names. He only really knew their persona names. So, yeah, it is a common problem.
And this is something I think that every furry can understand.
Yeah.
Is just not knowing everyone's actual
real name.
Especially if you only see them at a fur meet or conventions once a year.
Yeah.
It can be very hard to actually know what their actual name is. And sometimes the only way you find out what their actual name is if they send you something on PayPal.
Yeah.
Like maybe art or a pizza or something. And then you'd be looking at your PayPal statement the next day on your account and you'd be going, who is Ian? I don't know anyone, Ian. And why has he sent me money? Is this a good thing?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I know who that is. Yeah, it's a bit weird.
It's funny how disconnected we are.
But definitely something that I think only furry would actually understand.
Definitely.
It's made me laugh many a times.
Oh yeah.
So here's something that definitely a non-fur won't get, or maybe just appreciate as much as we do, and that is PAWS. Now, I'm not talking about in that sense.
No.
You know what I'm on about.
No.
But I'm just talking about PAWS in general and how significant they are to the furry fandom.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of like you'll see Cheetos. They introduced a brand of chip which was a paw shape, and we just had to have them.
Maybe a few packets.
Just because they were paw-shaped. And I mean, you know, look at these bare paw gloves
Yeah.
in Chicago.
We were a sucker for these as well.
I didn't need new gloves. I had a perfectly good pair of gloves, and they were more than adequate. In fact, they were probably slightly better than these, but these are paw-shaped. I had to have them.
And me.
And this goes on. I mean, you've got that new Game & Jack box. Where,
Yeah. Split the room.
And it comes up with a big pair of paws at the end of it. It's just like, you know,
Everybody looks at each other every time.
But it's almost like it's a secret calling sign for furries.
Yeah.
You might see a paw bumper sticker on someone's car or their license plate. You sort of think, that's probably a furry.
Most likely.
Or if you're at baggage reclaim and you see a suitcase going around, it's covered in paw stickers. It's probably a furry.
Yeah.
Could be my suitcase, in fairness, it is covered in paw stickers.
Yeah, well, both furs.
And yeah, so you know, I just don't think that anyone out of the fandom will quite understand what paws is all about.
No. So, you've come in from a long day sitting at a convention, and you go up to your room, and you get off your suit, and you're standing there in the middle of the room, and something feels a bit off as you're going to bed. And it still feels like you still have your tail on. Something still feels like it's hitting the back of your legs. You still feel like you have that weight behind you. This is a very common problem in suitors. Hell, even partial suitors, and even people that just wear tails in general. It kind of feels like you still have that going on behind you. And you go into a bathroom maybe, you close the door quickly, and you yell. You think that you're still out there, you can still feel pain.
See, that's something you don't have with your little bunny tail.
Yeah, but nubs are best. We don't have that problem.
Well, yeah, but, you know, I like my big trophy tail.
Oh, well, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that is phantom tail syndrome.
Yeah.
It's definitely affected me several times.
Yeah.
And that even back when I didn't have a fursuit, which is quite funny in its own.
Yeah, that's really weird.
So there we go. Those are a few things that I really do think that only a furry would quite understand.
Yeah.
Did you understand what it was on about? Drop us a comment below, I'll check them out. If you enjoyed this video, why not click the like button or subscribe to this channel if you haven't already.
Yeah.
I've also got a Patreon if you want to check that. I've got a link in the description below. Otherwise, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye!
Oh, Theadore Rabbit's been ordering carrots again. 47 bags. Check these links out too.